Oh yeah, let's go. Jaunty tunes up in here. A little loud. A little loud. That's the appropriate volume for jauntiness. You just don't get it. Don't get it, Dad. You don't understand my Nintendos. My animes. Not like us. We get it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this list. Look at this gorgeous, beautiful list. Camera's working well. I turned my mic down and not the desktop audio. Smart. Super smart. To be fair, YouTube has switched the location of the two on me when I wasn't looking. Gotta be careful, man. YouTube is crafty. YouTube will change stuff just to set you up for failure. Smartest, man. What's up, guys? What's up, Nabo? What's up, Mac McSkullface? You guys are ready for this. This might be a triggering experience for some. I kind of hope so. Glad to hear everything's fine. Still probably on the grind. My guy Nabo always on the grind. Working 5,000 hours a week. Late into the night. Putting the rest of us to shame. I thought I worked hard, but damn, man. I can't compete with this Nabo guy. Hopefully this music is appropriate. I had to find something that wasn't gonna get flagged by YouTube, man. If this was Twitch, we could do whatever we want. Just listen to Spotify. Play whatever games you want, as long as it's not Project M. Don't play Project M on Twitch, because your ass will get banned. But everything else, fair game. Totally fair. I haven't even looked to see what games are up on this list. I did not make this. Tag this guy on Twitter. I should probably add his handle to the description. Credit where credit is due. Oh my. I go to my Twitter profile, likes. I'll link him, man. This guy set us up for some good stuff. Bye. Pretty excited for this. I think I saw this bracket and I was like, dude, I have got to do this on stream. I've got to talk about this at least. It's worth. I can make videos upon videos on this, and I might. All sorts of video ideas planned coming up soon. Gonna maybe do a little less review stuff in the future, allow myself to stream more, and then focus on other content that's not as time restrictive. That's my plan. But everything's up in motion, man. Nothing's ever set. We just gotta wait and see. Mac McSkullface is alright, I suppose. Well, hopefully we can make that alright for sure, definitely. Ready. This, maybe play some Celeste or something afterwards. I mean, personally, I just want to keep playing Fortnite all day, every day. Fortnite is the most addicting goddamn game ever. Look at this. Well, there's some easy ones in here. First of all, DK Jungle Beat. DK Jungle Beat's not going anywhere. All right. Hex spot. Next. That's what there we go. Oh god, this is gonna be gigantic. Yep, that's perfect. That's good. What we want. No, you need to be way smaller. Way smaller still. Color's not bad. Smaller. Terrible font. Could do the Mario font for everything. Look at all my fonts, man. The world is my oyster of fonts. Oversee this blocky, easy to read font. What looks good on stream? That's what's important, man. So guys, I have a confession to make. I'm actually a Sony fanboy. Am I still welcome? You are still welcome, but my Sony bracket would be a lot shorter. It would just be Jack and Daxter. It would really be Jack 3 all the way, but like all the Jack games, they're the dominant forces in there. Jak and Daxter was the bomb, man. Dark Cloud was actually pretty good. This is what it's like when I make thumbnails. I just sit here and like scrolling through fonts gets more and more intense. You know what? This is readable, legible. All right, let's delete that. And there we go. Super Mario Bros. Versus the Twilight Princess. Super Mario Bros. 1 versus Twilight Princess. Super Mario Bros. The original. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably put this one up to Twilight Princess. I think Twilight Princess is legit the most underrated. I think it's the most legit underrated Zelda game out of all of them. People say it's Majora's Mask, but that's not true because Majora's Mask, everybody talks about Majora's Mask now. Like, people, it was underrated for like a brief amount of time. The internet totally brought it back. Like, Majora's Mask has gone from being underrated to officially being overrated. I do not think Majora's Mask is that good. Especially now that Breath of the Wild has come onto the scene and done a lot of really cool things. It's just, you know, it's a hard comparison for me now. I don't think it is what people think it is, man. People are like, it does stuff different than other Zeldas. Yeah, but like now that we have Breath of the Wild, we have a Zelda that does stuff different than other Zeldas in a way that's good and fun to play. So we're going to go through all the lower brackets and work our way inward. That's what we're going to do. Or should I do each region to the final and then do the finals? You guys let me know if you have a preference. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to go all along the basic one. Get some of these first seeds out of here, man. Some of these losers out of here. Wii Sports versus Super Mario RPG. Do you have any idea how ridiculously triggered people would be? I know at least 2 friends who would probably call me right now if I were to put Wii Sports over Super Mario RPG. It's tempting to do it for that reason alone, quite frankly. I gotta send this Snapchat. I'm gonna put out the Snapchat beacon, my guys, to some people, see if they're available, see if they want to get in on this stream. I don't normally do that too much with my friends when I'm streaming, but this one they might want to join in the discussion. Discussion is a beautiful thing on this stream. What happened to my music? Is there like a giant interlude? YouTube. How about this? Let's do a playlist that's best Nintendo music playlist. Boom. This one I would not feel warranted in. 50 plus videos. Starting with Space Junk Galaxy for Mario Galaxy. Can I hear anything? I can't hear anything because I've muted my microphone again. The constant struggle of being an idiot. It's a never-ending day-to-day thing. Like, it's something you always just gotta live with. Something that you get used to. Dude, what's up, the Gaming Lucario 529? What are we doing? We are ranking, not ranking, we are bracket style breaking down the greatest Nintendo game of all time. Your input is very much welcome, but at the end of the day, my opinions will rule this particular bracket. However, I have linked the guy on Twitter down below in the description, so if you want to fill out your own bracket, you're welcome to fill out your own bracket along with us. But I just thought this would be fun. March Nintendo Madness, essentially. So far, we've gotten one done. It's not a quick going process. Why don't we arrange them into categories based on genre? Because I didn't make this. I didn't make this bracket. I got it off of Twitter, and I don't have the time to make a whole new bracket right now from scratch. That's too much. Too much for me. I think it's seeded a little bit, you know, like if you look, like the top seeded games are gonna be like Super Mario Bros, Ocarina of Time, Pokemon Red and Blue, Super Metroid. So like whoever made this did use proper seeding. So for them, obviously, it's not gonna be proper for us. I mean, already we've had an upset with Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is amazing. That's easy. Just look for Chrono Trigger soundtrack and you have the best Nintendo soundtrack playlist. Nabo, you are factually correct with that opinion. That opinion, some opinions are opinions. That opinion is a factual, correct statement. I love the Chrono Trigger playlist. Also, they have Chrono Trigger Reorchestrated on YouTube. Look it up if you haven't. It's so good. And Zelda Reorchestrated too, both of which are so good. We're gonna let this play in the background. All right, we gotta make a decision here. I've never played Super Mario RPG, but I've seen a lot of other people play it on YouTube. I do enjoy watching it. We're gonna put that right there. That right there. Wii Sports? I mean, Wii Sports Bowling? Top tier game. Wii Sports everything else? Wii Sports Bowling is like, it's like off the camera. It's up here. It's up here, guys. And then like Wii Tennis is right here. And then I can't even remember what else was in Wii Sports. What was another Wii Sports game besides tennis and bowling? You can't even tell me. Nobody can. God, is it playing Delfino Plaza? Delfino Plaza is so good. Alright. Wind Waker versus the OG Castlevania. Oh my god. My list is gonna upset people immediately, because, I don't think Wind Waker was that good either. I thought Wind Waker was really boring. I can't get over the sailing, man. It's just not for me. The sailing is not fun. I'm sorry. I never played Wind Waker HD, and to be fair, that doesn't say Wind Waker HD. It says Wind Waker, so, I'm just gonna have to go with what I know, man. I'm gonna have to go with what's in my heart. My heart of Nintendo hearts. Why don't you play Bayonetta 2 music for the lulz? Would it really be for the lul? Would it last? Is it a short, like, sometimes for the lulz, great for about 5 seconds. Chrono Trigger and DK Country soundtracks make it bigger. Dude, Chrono Trigger and DK are amazing. What's even on this playlist? It's on this playlist. Gusty Garden Galaxy. Who put together this playlist? Nintendo or YouTube? YouTube, man. YouTube doesn't know. I don't need relaxing Nintendo music. 5 hours of the best Nintendo OST. Top 100 Nintendo songs ever. What do you got? Who's this guy? Shoutouts to Henrico Magnifico for his playlist that we may or may not listen to based on how good his first banger is. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. I don't need your disclaimer. Nintendo owns all the rights to the stream, and they own all of my soul and everything. Fine, they've owned my soul for 1,000,000 years. It's nothing new. Alright, we can chill to this. I can chill to this. I vibe with this. Unpopular Nintendo opinion that would trigger a lot of people. Yeah, no, this is gonna be a whole list of unpopular opinions, man. Because I have strong opinions on all of Nintendo games, and they are probably not gonna be with the consensus. I'm just gonna warn you right now. I wanna get, like, I need my mic. I need that bow tie in that shot, man. I didn't get this bow tie for nothing. Microphone. What's up next? What is even up next? God, some of these are so small you guys probably can't even see them. Next up is Mario Kart 64 versus Kirby and the Crystal Shards. Well, that's easy. That's MK64 by a mile. That one's unfair. It is unfair how easy that was. This playlist is much better. Fire Emblem Awakening versus Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds, man. I'm gonna warn you all right now. Most Zelda games are gonna have an advantage on this. I'd say Mario Kart. Dude, Mario Kart 64 especially, like, original Super Mario Kart, trash. Terrible game. Nobody cares. Let's be honest with ourselves. Super Mario Kart was ahead of its time, but the problem with that is that it was not implemented well at all. Super Mario Kart is not a good game. It led to some really good games. Led to a really good series. The other, like, 7 games in that series, all great. Mario Kart, Super Nintendo, it's a rough start. It's a rough start. Stream is really just going to be me fighting with this microphone the whole time. Alright, Link Between Worlds. So now we have Metroid Prime versus Super Punch-Out. Super Punch-Out, man, who even played Super Punch-Out? Did anybody play Super Punch-Out? First round's gonna be easy, because the first round is designed to be freebies, man. Your first round should always be free wins. You always have a higher rated person going up against a lower rated person. It should almost always be free. Now, Star Fox 64 versus Wario Land 4. Metroid, dude, Nabo gets it. Nabo's on par with it. Mario Kart, Metroid Prime especially, man. Metroid Prime is probably my favorite Metroid game. No, actually, no, it's not. Metroid Fusion is my favorite Metroid game. I'm not even sure if that's on here. Let's see. We'll see when we get there. You could do like a whole other bracket probably with games that just aren't even on this bracket. Star Fox 64 versus Wario Land 4, though. Super Mario 64. Star Fox. Yo, type in the gourmet race from Kirby Superstar. It's absolutely... What is the gourmet race? Is there a kart racer from Kirby? Gaming Lucario says Super Mario 64. Where's Super Mario 64 on this? Gotta be on here somewhere, right? There it is. It's way down there in the bottom right corner. I'm going with Star Fox 64, man. My nostalgia really peaks out like in that Super Nintendo N64 era. That's where like childhood me lives. That's gonna be the unfair advantage realm of games. Wario Land is a great series, but I think I've only played Wario Land 3. I didn't even know there was a Wario Land 4. Let's see. Link to the Past versus Super Smash Bros. 1. What is this? What is this? How is this a first round matchup? This is too difficult for a first round matchup. Link to the Past versus Super Smash Bros. That could be the finals. That could at least be top 4. First round? First round, that's broken. Winner is Link to the Past. Link to thy past. The more old English version of Link to the Past. It's the only one I prefer playing. Bum, 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 bum. Unpopular Nintendo opinion. Pokemon and Metroid, while influential, aren't very good. Depends on the Metroid game, and pretty much yes to the Pokemon game. I don't know what it is about Pokemon that makes it so addicting, but I agree. I think Pokemon gets by on just being too addicting and marketable. It's very marketable. Yeah, Link to the Past is really... Mario Super Strikers versus Super Metroid. I mean, that one's free. Super Metroid. No Mario sports game is gonna go anywhere on my list. I don't play the Mario sports games. I'm not into the Mario sports games. Pokemon is one of Nintendo's greatest successes, Mac. It is one of their greatest successes, but is it really that good of a game? That's all we're saying. Does it truly deserve its huge amount of success? Super Metroid, Super Metroid. How far behind is the stream today? I try to lower the latency for this stream specifically. I thought would be more fun. Want it to be a little closer together. Oh my god, what is this? Mario Kart DS Waluigi Pinball. Okay, this is a song. Not bad. I've never heard it before. My chat go. Come back, chat. As long as we're honest, most NES games are not fun to play today. Most, yes. Super Mario Brothers, still fun to play. God, there's gotta be more than just one, right? I'm drawing a blank. I don't know what other NES games are actually still fun. It's the same with like the old Game Boy games. Like which Game Boy Round 1 games are really still fun to play? I do love Pokemon. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon, but Pokemon, like, from just a purely game perspective, if somebody came up to you and was like, it's the most basic RPG ever in the world, and it appeals to kids, 3-year-olds can play it. You're like, why would I want to play that? But everybody loves it, because, like, it's part of all of our childhoods. Everybody from, like, the last 27 years has grown up with Pokemon as a part of their childhood. That's pretty prolific. Alright, Donkey Kong Country versus Mario Galaxy 2. What? Oh, this is another unfair round 1. This should not be a round 1. I take back what I say about this being seated properly. This was not seated properly. This was seated wrong. Somebody did not pay enough attention. But I didn't want to make my own bracket, because then I would have known in my head what was going to win ahead of time. Donkey Kong Country is one of the greatest platformers of all time. But Super Mario Galaxy 2 is also one of the greatest platformers of all time. It's one of the most perfect 2D platformers versus one of the most perfect 3D platformers. How do I choose? Mario was my childhood, then a friend introduced you to what? Pokemon? To the Pokemans? The Gourmet Race is a boss theme. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, you want me to turn on a song? Introduced me to Pokemon and that became a part of my childhood. Dude, Nintendo, all of these games on this list are a part of my childhood. That's why it's so cool. Like, that's why I wanted to do this, is I have nostalgia for, like, everything on this list. Alright, we're gonna listen to Kirby Gourmet something or other. Oh god. Type in the wrong box here. Kirby Gourmet Race Music. Gourmet's Kirby Superstar. Oh my god, it's this song. It's such a classic. Oh my god. Again, I'm gonna have to do like a whole bracket of this with just the music. Alright, I gotta make a decision here between Donkey Kong Country. So Donkey Kong Country, for its time, probably was one of the best graphics ever. Best music. God. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was also all of these things. I'm gonna give it to Donkey Kong Country, and here's why. Donkey Kong Country was a more original slice of life. Super Mario Galaxy 2, that's a sequel of Super Mario Galaxy 1. It had such a strong foundation to build upon, whereas Donkey Kong Country coming out of the gate, strong and hard. But we're gonna go with DKC. DK. Donkey Kong. Alright, Warioware Inc. Oh my god, the classic. Probably one of the games that made me want to get a Nintendo DS was Warioware Inc. Like, I played that on my friend's DS. We would go on camping trips with the Boy Scouts, and I would take his DS and I would play it the whole way up and down in the car. And he'd just play just that one game, Warioware. We used to hang out. I used to hang out with that kid just to play his copy of Warioware. If I may choose a track, I'd go Sticker Brush Symphony from DK2. Dude, yeah, dude, we'll totally listen. Dude, Sticker Brush Symphony, yes. All of my yes. We're definitely doing that one next. Whew, versus Super Mario Sunshine. Now, Super Mario Sunshine is a game that I didn't appreciate in its prime. I had it when it was new, and I didn't like it. But I came back to it. And I really do enjoy that game. I enjoyed it much, much more when I got a little older. A little more mature. DK and Mario Galaxy 2 are completely different games. I mean, you have, like, one of the greatest 2D versus one of the greatest 3D platformers, man. It's such a hard comparison. WarioWare Inc., the king of minigames, the greatest collection of minigames known to our young human culture. WarioWare Inc. It transcends cultures. Japanese people, American people, French people. We all love the minigames found in WarioWare Inc. I mean, how can you not? But Super Mario Sunshine, just classic, solid, quality gameplay. And I don't want to wait against Mario, because Mario's going to be all over this list. And I don't want to hold that against other Mario games, because that's not fair. If Mario deserves to be the top 8, then all Mario deserves to be the top 8. That's not what I'm saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying, if it deserves it, it should get it. What's up, Penguin Gamer? What am I playing? We are ranking Nintendo games. We are ranking all the Nintendo games. Also, we are listening to Nintendo music. So if you have a Nintendo song you'd like to listen to, feel free to call it out, and I will play it. I will add it up to the queue. Otherwise, we're just talking, man. We're just discussing. This is what I do best, man. This is way easier than playing games and trying to commentate, because I don't have to be good at this. I can just talk the whole time. That's my skill set. That's in the realm of the Wigwam potential. We're in the Iwata region right now. Alright, I gotta make a decision. WarioWare versus Super Mario Sunshine. Does it go to the mini games? I'm gonna go with WarioWare. We're gonna have an upset right here. This is an upset for sure, man. Because when I think about it, I just played WarioWare so many more hours than I've played Super Mario Sunshine. One of my friends joins in, Mr. Andrew Big Bird Nelson. He is gonna flip it if he sees that I said that WarioWare was better than Super Mario Sunshine. Oh my god. This track is just so beautiful. Dude, this actually is one of my favorite tracks from Donkey Kong Country 2, which in and of itself has some of the best music. Like, absurdly good music. It's so good. It's better than it has any warranted right to be. Alright. Link's Awakening versus Paper Mario. I've never played Paper Mario, so I'm gonna have to give it to Link's Awakening. I'm sure Paper Mario is very good. Don't doubt it. What's going on here today, dude? What's up, Vitor? Welcome to the stream. We are filling out our Nintendo bracket to figure out the best Nintendo game of all time. And also we're listening to Nintendo music because it's fitting, and that's what you do when you're bracketing out Nintendo games. Even just move this closer for that right there. Banjo Kazooie, not even really a Nintendo game. I guess we're not just doing first party only. Anything goes in this bracket apparently. Banjo Kazooie versus Super Mario 3D World. Well, I never played 3D World, but I know 3D Land was not good. The 3D World was like the game they made before Odyssey, but it must have been made by different people because Odyssey was in development forever. Banjo Kazooie, just classic. You know, part of me wants to hold the fact that ukulele exists against Banjo Kazooie, but that's not fair. It's not Banjo Kazooie's fault that its creators would later go on to create one of the shittest spiritual successors I've ever played. Super Mario Bros. 3 versus Harvest Moon 64. That is another freebie. Obviously, Harvest Moon 64 is a much better game. No, just kidding. Can't even say it. Super Mario Bros. 3. Give me that whistle. Give me the Tanuki suit. Give me that prolific gameplay that helped launch a empire. Your last comment got deleted? I did not delete it, I promise. Man. Okay, so I know YouTube's been doing this thing recently. Where... what was I gonna say? If you type a lot, it's not letting you type, because that happened to me on a friend stream. I was watching the Bonus World stream, and I was talking to him, and it wouldn't let me keep typing. Like, I don't understand what kind of live chat program wouldn't let you continuously talk. Just more reason that I need to eventually move over to Twitch, which, you know, I can put up with a lot of stuff on YouTube because this is where most of my audience is, but if YouTube's gonna inhibit my audience's ability to communicate with me, which in and of itself completely goes against live streaming, then I'm gonna have to move to Twitch, man, so that we can actually properly interact. I don't have any nostalgia for any of these games. That's cool, man. You're going into this blind. No nostalgia. The nostalgia goggles are off. I have the nostalgia goggles firmly planted onto my face. Yeah, seems like YouTube counts that as spamming. YouTube is so dumb, man. I don't know what to say. YouTube is really fucking stupid. Just keep typing your comments. Let me check real quick. Is this still playing the same Sticker Brush Symphony? The 29-minute version. Alright, I love that song, but we're going back to the variety. I love variety as well. Let me check one real quick thing on my advanced settings, because I want my chat to be free. Nobody is spamming my chat. If somebody was spamming my chat, I would be on top of that, YouTube. You don't need to take this liberties. A channel allow embedding. I don't think it's gonna give me enable live chat. Yeah, my only option, live options, automatically block spam messages. Let's try that. I'm gonna hit save. Long messages in all caps are repeated identical messages by the same user. Alright, we're gonna try to unblock spam and see if that fixes it. Hopefully it doesn't bite us in the ass. We're gonna go with that. What is this? Kirby's Epic Yarn Butter Building, dude. Kirby Epic Yarn, man. Coming through with the surprisingly good music. Alright, Animal Crossing. Man, all the tracks on this end like way too abruptly. The only problem with this playlist. Oh, Nabu, I think I know why I named a few websites, so I think the algorithm thought it was spam. Oh, if you were naming websites, it might have... Like I said, I've removed the spam stuff, because I don't really have a problem with people spamming on my channel most of the time, so hopefully we'll be good. How about the final battle theme from Final Fantasy VI? YouTube. Final Fantasy VI final boss theme. Dancing Mad full song. Dude, Final Fantasy does not mess around with the music either, man. So that's a game series that gets it. Alright, Animal Crossing NL versus Skyward Sword. So Animal Crossing, which I don't really care for, I think Animal Crossing is kind of like, okay, so you know how Nintendo always has to make a game of every genre? Like Splatoon is their shooter, Smash Bros is their fighter, Mario is their platformer, and so on and so forth. Like, and then like Fire Emblem is their strategy game. Like they fill in all the genres all the time, right? They always have like an IP in every genre almost. Animal Crossing is Nintendo's stab at a Facebook game, and I know it predates Facebook games, but it's still a Facebook game. Mario Song and PS, are you going to play a game after this stream? Yeah, I'm probably going to play Celeste after I do this. Probably Celeste. I kind of want to play Fortnite, but I think everybody's probably tired of watching me play Fortnite all the time. Even though I never get tired of Fortnite. Fortnite's so fun, man. We got that W last night. Me and Hip Hop taking... My hands don't move like that. The W. Dubs. It's good shit, man. Really, Hippie took it, but, you know, I was on this team. I was dead, but I was there. I'm gonna go with Skyward Sword, because Skyward Sword has some good moments. It has a few good moments in a sea of terribleness. What's your favorite and least favorite thing about my job? My least favorite thing about my job is easy. It's the fact that I'm basically always on call. So that means that at any given moment, work can call me in. If there's something fucked up, like if somebody calls into the night shift, I have to go in. If somebody calls into any shift, I have to go in. If something is broken and no one else can fix it, I have to go in. That's definitely my least favorite thing about my job. My favorite thing about the job is two things. Like, from the job perspective, my favorite thing is that I work in a hotel, so I get to meet all sorts of people from all over the world, which is really cool. And I used to be really bitter and jaded against the general public when I worked in restaurants. I was one of those people who was like, I hate people. People are the worst. I love people now. Now that I work in hotels, it's totally changed my mind about people, because people in hotels are actually usually really, really nice and awesome, and they come for good reasons or bad reasons, and sometimes it's sad, and sometimes they're coming for like a wedding, or maybe it's a funeral, but it's just, you just get to meet so many people in so many different situations, and it's just cool. I just really like that part of it. The less wholesome aspect of my job that I like is that I'm a manager, so I can pretty much, with my current boss, I get a lot of free reign on when I can come and go. Like, if I need a weekend off, it's never a problem. If I need to leave early, it's not a problem. If I need to come in later, whatever. My schedule is mostly dictated on when we're busy, but I get the final say. And if I need off, I always have 2 other managers who have my back, so that's awesome. I gotta say, saying what your least favorite thing about your job is with this soundtrack kind of gave it a very deep aura. It sounds ominous, doesn't it? It sounds really ominous. And Penguin Gamer is telling me to play Fortnite, so we'll see. We'll see. I want to play Fortnite. I love Fortnite, man. It's so addicting. Breath of the Wild versus Mario Land 2. That's a freebie. That's a freebie, my guy. Breath of the Wild is too good. It's top tier. See, that's what more of your round 1 should be. Like, Donkey Kong Country versus Mario Galaxy 2. Like, those games, like Super Metroid versus Mario Strikers, that's good. Like, Mario Strikers obviously gonna lose. Super Metroid obviously gonna win. Your round 1 should be obvious. It shouldn't be Donkey Kong Country versus Mario Galaxy 2 in the beginning round. It's absurd. It's easy to make conversation when you are traveling. It is if you got the right people in hospitality. But you always have something to talk about when you're traveling, which makes it nice. It makes it easy to talk to people. All right, Super Mario 64 versus Mother 3. It's gonna definitely be Super Mario 64. Again, Mother 3. You deserve to make it further in the tournament. You got a bad seating. Sometimes that happens to the best of us. Sometimes we have a weak showing in pools, and when it comes through to the bracket, you know, we're seated not where we should be, and we take an early loss. Sometimes that happens. There's no losers bracket here, guys, so one and done, single elimination. So, guys, do you think endless runners are technically roguelites? Endless runners are technically roguelites? Well, they do have permadeath. They do have that aspect. I don't know, to me a defining factor of a roguelite is collecting items and power-ups. But I think without that, I would not consider an endless runner to be a roguelite. Working in a hotel must be like that every day. It is, man. Again, you meet people like from week to week depending on what's happening. Like this week is the Mid-American Truck Show. Next weekend is the Junior Volleyball National Tournament. Like there's always completely different events going on. We get Vex Robotics, which is a national robotics competition, and then we get the Kentucky Retired Teachers Association. Like we get all sorts of cool stuff. Did I play Dead Cells? No, I want to play Dead Cells and I want to play Hollow Knight. Those are 2 games from 2017 that I missed out on. Stay, microphone. Alright, Majora's Mask versus Luigi's Mansion. Alright, Majora's Mask, like I said, is overrated, but it's probably better than Luigi's Mansion 1. That was Luigi's Mansion 2, it would take the win. We have original Legend of Zelda versus DK Jungle Beat, the bongo game. That game is literally a gimmick to sell peripherals. It's gonna go to the Legend of Zelda. No gimmick game is gonna make it anywhere on my bracket either. Alright, now here's a good one. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire versus Pikmin. So, one of the heights for me of Pokemon was the Ruby and Sapphire era. Probably my second favorite generation of Pokemon. But Pikmin, original IP, one of the last original, like, good IPs that came out. I think the background music might be a little too loud. Let me turn that down. Actually, again, this is like a 25-minute song, so let's go switch it up again. Alright, how's that? Hopefully that's better. Pikmin, obviously. Obviously, Pikmin. Obviously. I agree. I agree with the Pikmin. Pikmin takes that. Pikmin is the winner. Oop. Can't misspell it when it's right there on the screen. It's Pikmin, not Pikmen. Alright, Punch-Out versus Fire Emblem POR. Which one is Fire Emblem POR? I'm gonna have to look this up. Fire Emblem. That was... Oh, the GameCube one? I don't know anything about that. If they ever make an Ori 3, they should get Celeste people? They should. Oh my god, yeah. What even is this? This one is... GameCube game... Path of Radiance. Get the Pokemon battle music. Leaf Green Trainer Battle. I'm excited for Ori 2. I had some issues with Ori 1. I liked Ori 1 a lot. It was a good Metroidvania game. It was a beautiful looking Metroidvania game. At times it had really good level design, and at other times I think it kind of had pretty subpar level design. Music was good. Power-ups were pretty good. I don't know, just something about that game. I liked it. I think it was a little overrated. I'm definitely glad it's getting a sequel though. I hope they do some improve on it. All right, we're gonna go with Punch-Out because one time I watched this guy on Awesome Games Done Quick play Punch-Out blindfolded, and that was like one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life. Like as far as video game achievements go, that was how are you that good? That guy should play Melee. That guy should play Melee, man. Earthbound versus Super Mario 3D Land. Earthbound, dude. Earthbound and down. Loaded up and truckin'. What I do with that shit can be done. It's burning down. Alright, Mario Kart Double Dash versus Super Mario Odyssey. Again, Super Mario Odyssey, man. You got a decent Mario Kart versus probably the best 3D Mario game ever. I played Super Mario Odyssey more than I have played any other 3D Mario game ever. Like, and I always play those games for as long as I want to, and then when I get bored, I just quit. It's always my rule with Mario is I don't like to collect all the stars. I'll just keep playing and playing and playing, and then eventually I'll just kind of like lose interest, and then I'm fine. I'll walk away. I'll get my 40 hours of gameplay, and then I'm done. But Super Mario Odyssey, I played until I ran out of moons to collect. I would still be playing it right now if there were more moons. I haven't played the balloon thing yet, but I want to. I'm excited for the balloon thing. Pokemon Red and Blue versus Xenoblade Chronicles. We're gonna go with the Pokemons, man. Pokemon Red Blue. Pokemon Red Blue, man. That game helped me learn how to read. It was actually Pokemon Yellow, but same generation. Pokemon Yellow helped teach me how to read. I wanted to play that game so bad. I had the Super... We didn't even have a Game Boy, alright? I had a Super Nintendo cartridge converter box. Look them up if you don't know what that is. Yeah, I used to be able to buy Game Boy converters so that you could play your Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo. So I had Pokemon Yellow for that thing. And then I wanted to play it so bad. I learned some of the first words I learned how to read: Thunderbolt, Critical Hit. I mean, Pikachu if you count it. Pikachu's not a real word, but it's one of the first ones I learned how to read. Seriously. Trainer. Cave. I'd still go with Xenoblade though. Pokemon Red and Blue taught me English. Dude, same. Taught me how to read English at least. I mean, I was already speaking it, but, you know, poorly. And some math too. And it taught me how to play rock, paper, scissors. I'd still go with Xenoblade though. I haven't played Xenoblade. I'm not into the big JRPGs personally. They're just not my style. Dude, what is this song? Oh, it's so good. Mega Man 2 Airman stage. God, Mega Man has got some bomber music. There's this game coming out on the Switch PC called Necroburista. Basically Persona 5 without the combat. The plot is that you're a new employee at a cafe where ghosts come for a last cup of coffee. That could be a lot of fun. I would be down to play that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Alright, what do we got? Super Mario World versus Nintendogs. This might be the freest one so far. If it was Nintendo Cats, it would be a winner. It would be a winner, but it's not. This has got to be Luigi's Mansion, right? Luigi's Mansion title theme. Dr. Wily stage soundtrack. Mega Man 2 Dr. Wily stage? Because that's what we're going with. This one. You guys ever follow Dwayne and Brando? They were back when, like, the music parodies were a big thing. It was like Dwayne and Brando. They predate Brental Floss, I think. I think they came before Brental Floss, who did the same thing. Dwayne and Brando, so funny, man. To me, when I was a teenager. I have not listened to them in a long time. I don't know if they hold up or not. I can't attest to that. Mario Kart 8 versus Animal Crossing 1. Dude, MK8. MK8 Deluxe, because that's the one I've played. I'm gonna go with the one I've actually played. No. The lead level designer of Ori 2 will be the lead designer if Rayman Legends, so no worries. Dude! That is actually really promising. Best Nintendo game, Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 isn't even on the bracket, my guy. What's up, Razor G? Welcome to my stream. Glad to have you back. Splatoon 2 is pretty good. I love Splatoon 2. I was playing it and enjoying it until my friends made fun of me because I was like, dude, I'm so good at Splatoon 2. I take W's every game. I'm like #1 in every game I play, and I was. And they were like, dude, you're playing against 8-year-olds. And they ruined all the fun. They ruined all the fun. They couldn't just let me have it. I was good at one game, and they took it away from me. Splatoon 2 is a lot of fun. It's nice to play a no-pressure shooter. A shooter that just, like, in and out. I wanted to play Splatoon 2 on my stream with some people, but they weren't down. I wanted to play it with Ari from the Bonus World and my 2 friends from As I Play Dying. Rip As I Play Dying on hiatus. Hopefully they're coming back, man. I needed my fix. They're the only Let's Players I still watch was As I Play Dying, and now they're on a hiatus, and it's killing me. They just started playing Celeste, dude. I was so excited for them to play Celeste. Alright, Super Mario Galaxy versus Kirby NID. Kirby... I'm gonna use these abbreviations like I know every freaking Kirby game. I quite fancy Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, also not on this list, man. I could take my round 1 picks, and just a couple of the ones that lost, and I could think of a whole nother bracket and like mix it up. It'd be way better. Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Nabo saying Super Mario Galaxy. I'm thinking Super Mario Galaxy. Super Mario Galaxy. I'm thinking Super Mario Galaxy for sure. Just better, man. It just is. Like, again, you know, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, you could... Against other opponents, maybe. Okay, this one is ridiculous. How am I supposed to compare Tetris to Pokemon X and Y? Pokemon X and Y? I take it back, actually. Wait, is Pokemon Gold and Silver not on here? Okay, it is. My Pokemon favorite games are probably Gold and Silver. If I'm being objective, without the nostalgia. Without the nostalgia, it's Gold. Well, this is still a little nostalgia. With slightly less nostalgia, Gold and Silver first. Number 2, X and Y. Number 3, Red and Blue. See, because Pokemon X and Y was what made me want to come back to Pokemon. Like, I had not played a Pokemon in like 2 generations. I had tried, couldn't get into it, couldn't enjoy them. Tried Black and White, couldn't get into it. Tried Black 2, got like a third of the way through the game. Played Pearl and whatever, couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. But X and Y were fun, man. X and Y brought it back. But Tetris, man. Tetris is too good. Tetris is... I was not expecting to run into Tetris on this list. Hundreds of hours of my life have been spent playing Tetris. I have my highs and my lows. Like, I'll play Tetris, and I'll be like, oh, I'm so bad at Tetris, and I'll just grind and grind and grind Tetris for like 2 weeks. I'll play until I can play like an hour or 2 hour long game without dying, and then I'll quit. I'll get like a new high score, and then I'll back off. I love turn-based games, never played a Pokemon game. I mean, if you already love turn-based games, and you have a high affinity for, like, good turn-based games, it's gonna be hard for me to tell you to go back and play, Pokemon, because Pokemon, as far as, like, a turn-based game, is not great. You don't play Pokemon because it's a turn-based game. You play it because of the Pokemon, and the collecting, and the spirit of adventure and the childhood cherished memories and all that. And if you don't have that, then Pokemon's not a game for you. You know, you gotta get in on the Pokemon while you're young. Yoshi's Island versus Star Fox. God, can I make both of these games lose? Both of these games infinitely better by their sequels. Terrible predecessors to much better sequels. Currently playing Bravely Default. See, I really enjoyed Bravely Default. Up until I got to the part of the game where it was like, okay, do everything again. And I was like, oh, I don't want to. I don't want to play the whole game over again. I want to play more game. I want to play new stuff. So that was pretty much the end of that. I missed the Ghost Tale and Yumaniki stream and can't be bothered to watch them, so what did you think of them? Ghost Tale was off to a really slow start, but it was getting better towards the end of it. I think we're going to come back to it. It starts off really slow. I almost didn't keep playing it, but we finally got to a part where I started to have fun with it. Yumaniki, it's kind of boring, honestly. I thought it was going to be a lot more like psychological mess with you kind of stuff, and it wasn't. It was really just a lot of exploring. So I started cheating towards the end of the stream, and I might go back and finish it because I think the end of the game is where the psychological stuff kicks in. But I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat to get all the items, basically, because it was boring watching me just wander aimlessly through these areas to get items. The greatest Nintendo game is absolutely Superman 64. I think I will quit on this advice. Yeah, I mean, again, I really, really enjoyed Bravely Default right up until that moment. I would definitely play it until you get to that moment. But if you go past that, I mean, I couldn't. You do you, though. If you enjoy it, there's no harm against it. My friend loves it. My friend is all about it, but he loves JRPGs and I do not. I'm very picky about which JRPGs I play. I've seen the streams. Ghost of a Tale is a kind of game that I'm sure to enjoy. Yuma, even watching the stream, I still didn't understand what the game was about. I don't know what the game was about. I'm so confused. It wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be. Smash Bros. Melee versus Super Mario Bros. 2? Dude, I mean, y'all know I'm a Melee fiend. You know I got that chic, man. I got that chic. I got my wave dashes. I've thought about streaming some net play. But I'm not very good, so I might take some wins against some lower level people, but I can't play ranked. I suck at ranked. Tetris is fucking boring. Mac. Why did you cut me so deep? Why do you cut me so deep, Mac? I thought we had a thing. Like, but no. Hurt. I'll agree just to make someone that does not know that game try it out and ruin his or her day. It's nefarious, my guy. Alright, we have another toughie. This is like Pokemon Gold and Silver versus Advance Wars. So pretty much you have my favorite my third favorite Game Boy Color game versus my probably first favorite game. I'm thinking of so many games that are missing from this list. There's so many Zelda games that aren't on this list. Where's Oracle of Seasons and Ages? Where's the Minish Cap? We're gonna do one of these brackets of just Zelda games. Enjoying Mad Max on Xbox Game Pass? Yeah, I heard Mad Max was super good actually. Not Nintendo related, I know, but I think it's a very underrated game. I heard that game was good. I wanted to play it. They need to put that game on the Switch. If they put that game on the Switch, I would totally play it. Alright, Pokemon Gold and Silver versus Advance Wars. This is tough, but I'm gonna give this one to Pokemon, because Pokemon Gold and Silver was... Pokemon Gold was probably my favorite birthday present of all time. I got that for like... I don't remember, like my 8th or 9th birthday. I got it like 2 or 3 days early, because it came out right around my birthday. Like, just slightly before. So I got it early. I got exactly what I wanted, which was that game, and I got to be that kid. That was like one of the few times in my life I got to be that kid that walked into school and was like, kick open that door and I was like, I got the new Pokemon game on day 1. Look how cool I am. Everybody bow to my good. Yeah, that's right. I got a Totodile. Do you have a Totodile? No. You're still on Squirtle, bitch. You're still on Squirtle. That was me. That was me in 3rd grade. Or 2nd or something. I can't remember when that game came out. But that was how it went. I just want everything to go on the Switch. Switch is the best console. Like, objectively, from a hardware standpoint, like, well, not specs wise, but like for what it does, the Switch is the best. Full console on the go. Like, it's portable. I can play it in my bed on the couch. I don't even play it out in the wild. Just being able to play it sitting in bed, kicked back, is everything. It's everything, man. Ocarina of Time versus Donkey Kong Country 2? Why? Why would you put these two games versus each other in round 1? How is this your round 1? Why is Nintendogs even on this list? So many better games than Nintendogs. Oh. I mean, you know I gotta go with Ocarina of Time. But man, it's closer than you think. It's closer than you think. I want to know what you guys think. Donkey Kong Country 2 versus Ocarina of Time. It's about the exploration of the psyche of a damaged and ill person. Yumaniki, yeah, it's very much like an artsy game, which I'm not smart enough for. To be fair, we never got to a part where it really was gonna start to make sense. We need to get further in the game if anything's gonna click. Alright, so now we're into the meat and the potatoes of it all, quite frankly. This is where it gets good. This is the round ones. Some of the round ones were a little tough, but this is where it really kicks in. Yeah, I think I would probably go with DK2 though, but it's close. Dude, DK2, it's a good game. Might be better than DK Country 1. Tough though, man. I don't know. That's just such a tough call to make. But do we go with the Twilight Princess or Super Mario RPG? Alright, this one for me, pretty easy. God, this music is so good. Good for me. Pick a good playlist. Pat myself on the back for that. Alright, Twilight Princess is going to take the win here, because Twilight Princess, again, it's so underrated. If you all love Ocarina of Time and you don't like Twilight Princess, then you're a hypocrite, because Twilight Princess is the closest thing we're ever going to get to a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time from a gameplay standpoint. I couldn't get into Mario Kart 8 on the Switch. I played it online. I enjoyed it a lot online. I haven't played it a lot in person with friends one-on-one, but online it was a lot of fun. Twilight Princess for Nabo. Dude, Nabo and me are on this. We're on that wavelength. We're agreeing a lot on this. Alright. Castlevania. Original Whip Castlevania. Meat in the Walls. versus Mario Kart 64. Also, like, they have Castlevania, but they don't have Castlevania Symphony of the Night. But sorry, Aaron, but Tetris is just boring. Well designed, but so is an office booth. Damn! I don't agree. Oh man, the Castlevania music comes on. Look at this. Look at this. Castlevania starts playing. That's trying to cheat, man. You can't sway my opinion by playing the music while I'm trying to decide between the two games. Oh, it's tough, man. It's tough. That is a very tough choice. No, but Mac, that is like the sickest burn. Like, oh my god. You need to like make a YouTube video and put that in there, because that is a sick burn, dude. You could be the best player in the world, winning first 2 laps and then hit with a red shell in the last corner and finish 4th. Yes, you absolutely could. Mario Kart is not fair. Mario Kart is not for people that want a competitive game based on skill. Nintendo in general really isn't a company for that. They did it one time on accident with Super Smash Bros. Melee, and they still are upset about it. They, to this day, are angry that people still play Melee competitively. Can you name any bad movies you unironically enjoy? Any, like, so bad movies that I don't watch specifically because they're bad, but bad movies that I enjoy because I enjoy them? Always hard to think of these on the spot. Probably a lot of really terrible comedy movies. Oh, Without a Paddle. I don't think a lot of people think Without a Paddle is a good movie. Is that do people think that's a bad movie? What kind of IMDb rating does that? I love Without a Paddle. Oh, it's a really good movie. Yeah, Without a Paddle has, holy shit. Okay, so this is a perfect example. Without a Paddle has a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 29% on Metacritic. I like that movie. I do enjoy that movie. I thought Without a Paddle was actually really funny. I like Dax Shepard and Seth Green and all them. Alright, I'd pick MK64 over the first Castlevania because M64 could bring people together for hours. That was actually going to be my reasoning. Because MK64 was a game that me and my friends played together. It's one of those games where, as a child, you play late into the night. You stay up with your friends way past when you should be up. You're uncontrollably laughing, and your one friend's getting so mad because he just got hit with a red shell, and you're trying like, shh, can't wake up my parents, we're supposed to be asleep. One of those games, man. That kind of games are just beautiful. They're an experience, like, they're part of childhood. Let us see what is up next. Link Between Worlds versus Metroid Prime. Link Between Worlds, the sequel to Link to the Past versus Metroid Prime, the first 3D Metroid game. I'll go with Link Between Worlds, man. Alright, well, Prime is one of those games that I've played over and over and over again. And, I just like Between Worlds better. Like, it's probably because I like Link to the Past so much, so, you know, definitely some biases coming through there. But, this is my bracket, so I'm gonna do what I want. Unpopular Nintendo opinion: Smash Bros. And Mario Kart have gotten better with every installment. I agree with you on the Mario Kart, and I disagree with you on the Super Smash Bros. You think Brawl was better than Melee? Well, you're entitled to your opinions, but your opinions may be incorrect. Star Fox 64 versus Link to the Past. Star Fox 64 versus Link to the Past. Probably got my most played SNES game versus my most played N64 game. This track is so good, man. F-Zero, Big Blue, Super Smash Bros. Remix, Melee. That's a banger for sure, man. Full banger status. Link to the Past for me, yeah. Link to the Past. Well, I have my most played 64 and Super Nintendo. Link to the Past is actually just one of my most played games of all time. Also, can't believe Chrono Trigger is not on this list, man. Chrono Trigger is a Super Nintendo game. If Banjo Kazooie can be on this list, Chrono Trigger should be on this list. Do I think Smash Bros. On the Switch will be a new game or a port? I think it'll be a new game. A new game based on a lot of the same mechanics as Smash 4. I think it'll play more like Smash 4 than any other previous Smash Bros. Game has played to the one before it. But I think it will be a new game. New characters. Here's why I think it would. Because if it was just a port, they would add a couple of new characters and they would port it over. I don't think they would be adding Breath of the Wild Link. I think they would just keep the 2 links they have instead. The SSH remix of this song. SSH remix of Big Blue. Wap, wap, wap. So many good games missing from this band. I'm gonna do another one of these in the future down the road that's gonna be like user submitted bracket. Alright, Super Metroid versus Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country. For sure. Absolutely no hesitation. Was SteamWorld Heist a Nintendo exclusive originally? Dark Horse perhaps? You know, I don't know about SteamWorld Heist. I played SteamWorld Dig on the 3DS, and I love SteamWorld Dig. I don't know much about the other SteamWorld games, though. Warioware Inc. versus Link's Awakening. This one is actually pretty tough for me. Well, on the one hand, you've got the greatest collection of minigames ever. On the other hand, you have the greatest Game Boy game ever. You got DS versus Game Boy. Portable masters. Both top tier, top 10 of all time portable games in their own right. But which one is better than the other? Which one deserves the W even though they have no relationship to each other at all? You know, on the one hand, I do love WarioWare's huge variety of games, and it's so addicting. I always wanted to play it and get better at it. On the other hand, Link's Awakening did introduce things like the trade mechanic system, which would go on to be featured in many, many main staples of the game. It basically invented the layout for the mobile Zelda games, which led way to so many good games. But you know what? I'm gonna go with WarioWare. Or am I? I don't know. No, I'm still split. I'm still split. WarioWare, super good. Link's Awakening also so good, man. I don't know. This one's a toughie. This one's a stumper. This kind of brought me in my tracks. If this was a game, like a basketball game, this would be like down to the wire, tie game, overtime. It'd be the heartbreaker game that everybody remembers. It would be for sure. SSH remixes are just awesome most of the time. We're gonna maybe let it play for a second then. See what it's got. I like to let YouTube autoplay sometimes. Sometimes you get really good music on YouTube autoplay. Sometimes you gotta smash that skip button. Oh, by the way, for everyone who is here enjoying this weird Nintendo stream, if you are enjoying it, you know, give it a like, please. Always. I don't usually plug that too hard, but I do appreciate it if you do. It does help me a lot, especially when I'm getting likes while I'm streaming. It helps YouTube promote my videos. So, just a reminder, thank you guys for joining me as well. I'm really, honestly, just stalling for time because I don't want to have to make this decision. But a decision must be made. No thinking. WarioWare versus Link's Awakening. Which is better? Link's Awakening. There we go. It's unfair because Overcool of Seasons and Ages is much better than Link's Awakening. But you gotta go with what you gotta go with. Alright. Banjo Kazooie versus Super Mario Brothers 3. That's a Super Mario Brothers 3 freebie. Super Mario Brothers 3 is a top seed here. They're gonna skyrocket to the top, I'm just gonna tell you. Oh my god, I am streaming, but not celebrating the wife getting a new job. She is gone. Oh, you're steaming. Okay, she is gone for 2 days to 3. There's one more day of peace, cause for celebration and gaming. Dude, enjoy the peace and quiet, man. Link's Awakening. Super Mario Brothers 3 no-brainer. Yeah, dude, for sure, man. It's so easy. So free. It's so free. Breath of the Wild versus Skyward Sword. Wow. Well, obviously, Breath of the Wild is better than Skyward Sword. If somebody thought Skyward Sword was better than Breath of the Wild, that person should not be allowed to play Zelda games. That person should have their Zelda rights revoked. Without nostalgia, which do you think are better, Link to the Past, Binding of Isaac, or Hyperlight Drifter? I know those games are all inspired Well, I know those games are all like come off a Link to the Past. Without nostalgia, I would probably rate it Binding of Isaac for replayability. For a pure amount of gameplay that and enjoyment that you get, I would probably have to put Binding of Isaac first, Link to the Past second, and Hyper Light Drifter last. Hyper Light Drifter was good. I don't think it was really that special. Again, it's one of those games that had very strong visuals. Gameplay-wise, it was good. Yeah, it was just good. It was a good game. It was like a very solid 8 out of 10. It wasn't a 10 out of 10 for me, or even a 9 out of 10. Yo, what's up, Jennifer Arnold? Sup, I can't stay for super long, but I'm here, so sleepy. Well, we appreciate you being here, briefly as it is. Better than taking a nap. Hope your day's going well. Hope it warmed up in Chicago a little bit. We're here ranking Nintendo games. You know, what's very near and dear to my heart. Alright, what were we talking about? I don't know, you put me in a tough spot. Link to the Past is probably... I still think Link to the Past is one of the best games of all time. Like, I do. I think it's an actually objectively amazing game. So what do we think about the whole thing of Wario being a racist Jewish stereotype? I was not aware that he was a racist Jewish stereotype. Is Wario Jewish? This is news to me, man. I don't know. Obviously, racist stereotypes are bad all the time, whether they're made by Nintendo or not. I mean, Mario's kind of a bad racist stereotype, but he's become less and less Italian and more just Mario, so kind of in a weird place. Alright, Majora's Mask versus Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64, man. Majora's Mask is not. I'm telling you, it's overrated. Alright, Pikmin versus the original Zelda. Pikmin, man. The original Zelda does not hold up when you compare it to the other Zeldas, especially. Yeah, dude, where are you getting this information on Wario being Jewish? You're kind of blowing my mind. Alright, Earthbound versus Punch-Out. Earthbound. See, a lot of these games over here in this region, this part of the bracket should have been broken up with some of these top-tier games. This part of the bracket definitely is weaker. The Tajiri region, just a little unfair that these games are going to make it so much farther than they deserve to. For some of them. Some of them are going to be right where they need to be. Would you rather play Nidhogg or Broforce? Nidhogg. Nidhogg for sure. Broforce is alright. It's fun, cooperative, but Nidhogg, I like a versus game better than a co-op game most of the time. Co-op versus games is ideal. Like Fortnite, playing with a buddy on Fortnite is good. What games am I hyped for right now? Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze on the Switch is coming out. I'm pretty hyped for that because I never got to play it on the Wii U, so for me it's a brand new game. I know for a lot of people it's just a port, but for me, it's a new Donkey Kong Country game, so I'm very excited for that. Smash Bros, obviously super insanely hype. I did that whole video of indie games that I'm looking forward to, but if I had to pick a couple that I was really excited for, War Groove, I really like the Advanced War style gameplay, so I'm really looking forward to playing that one. And Ori 2 is going to be really good. I'm going to really be excited to play that. That's all that comes to mind immediately. I don't know of a lot of other Nintendo stuff that's going on. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Super Mario Odyssey, definitely. Pokemon Red and Blue. I mean, yeah, again, if you want to put on your nostalgia goggles, Pokemon Red and Blue maybe takes the win. Limbo or Inside? Inside. Inside is better. Both great. Both prove that video games can be art, but Inside is... It does everything Limbo does, but it does it better. Like, I seriously think Inside is just a straight improvement on Limbo. Every game ported from Wii U is a new game to 90% of the world. Me included, man. Well, I kept waiting for a Zelda game to come out for the Wii U, and that was going to be the day that I was going to buy it, and it never happened. I hope they port Super Mario 3D World to the Switch, too. I hope they port everything to the Switch, man. Let's be honest, nobody played the Wii U. Let's just put all those games on the Switch. I want Wind Waker HD on the Switch, so I can give the HD version a try. I hear the HD version is pretty good. I'm excited to try it. Give it to me. Y'all put in all that effort. You ported it over already. Port it again. Nintendo loves ports now. They used to hate them. Now they love them. Super Mario World versus Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yep. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is probably my favorite Mario Kart game, but man, how do you compete with one of the, like, top Super Nintendo games? One of the best games Nintendo's ever put out, Super Mario World. Tetris versus Super Mario Galaxy. We're gonna go with Super Mario Galaxy. Because while I do love Tetris, this is talking specifically probably about that very early version of Tetris for the Game Boy. Maybe even the Super Nintendo one. But neither of those versions are better than playing Super Mario Galaxy. They just aren't, man. Super Smash Bros. Melee is gonna win. It's gonna definitely win. I'd have to think about it, but Melee might be my most played Nintendo game. It wouldn't have been that way a year and a half ago, but over the last year and a half, I've played so much competitive Melee and practiced and been on the grind that the hours have skyrocketed. Competitive Melee has brought me so much joy too. I love watching competitive Melee. It's just fun. It's exciting to watch. So many games on the Wii U that, like you say, had so much love that needed to be ported. Xenoblade Chronicles X, for example. Yes, Xenoblade Chronicles and Wonderful 101. I want to play Wonderful 101 and I want to play Pikmin 3. Give me Pikmin 3 on the Switch. Wario's character is a big-nosed, greedy con man that's like the definition of a Jewish stereotype. I mean, I do see it now that you pointed out that he hits some of those negative stereotypes, but I don't know, man. You're asking me to go down a path that I don't want to talk about on stream, because I'm just going to say all stereotypes are bad. Don't stereotype people. Don't be racist. Love people. Accept them for who they are. Don't make fun of people based on their nationality or their race. There's so many easier things to make fun of people for. Zelda Ocarina of Time versus Pokemon Gold Silver. Huh. I've seen a Let's Play of Wonderful 101. Seems very, very fun. Dude, it just seems like a game that has like such a good sense of humor and excitement, and you know, it's by the people that made Beautiful Joe, and I love Beautiful Joe. Beautiful Joe is such an underrated game. One of the most underrated games of all time. Are you Jewish people have big nose? See, this is where we're going. We're not gonna talk about this. You start talking about stereotypes, then it always goes in a bad direction. That's just what happens. Ocarina of Time versus Pokemon Gold or Silver. Do I have more nostalgia for Pokemon Gold and Silver, or do I have more nostalgia for Zelda Ocarina of Time? That is the question. Probably Ocarina of Time. Probably that one. Zoot Suit. Alright, so now we're into the good stuff, man. Now, Sweet 16. Sweet 16 into top 8. Where stuff starts to get a little hairier. We got Twilight Princess versus Mario Kart 64. So do I think Twilight Princess is underrated enough that it's better than my most played Mario Kart game? Platinum Games just create awesome games. Yeah, dude, they're one of those game companies that you should just, if they're coming out with a game, you should check it out because it's going to be good. Some game companies you can just, you know it's going to be good stuff. You don't even have to ask. Oh, Twilight Princess versus Mario Kart 64. I'd go with Twilight Princess. Mario Kart 64, again, it has that, late night in the basement playing with friends, childhood, cherished memories going for it. Twilight Princess, though, it's so good. It's so underrated. It does not get the credit it deserves, man. The Gale Boomerang, the dungeon design, the advanced swordplay combat. I'm so mad that they didn't bring the sword combat back in Breath of the Wild. I thought Breath of the Wild would have been so perfect for those advanced fighting techniques. I'm gonna go with Twilight Princess, man. I think Twilight Princess is so good. gotten very metally. While I mostly dig it, I'm gonna go back to something a little more chill. There we go. Please for well. No, can you play something that won't make me cry? Thank you. Yeah, let's quit even joking about the stereotypes, man. We're here to talk about Nintendo games. Wholesome stream for the whole family. So good. Can anyone in the world hear this music and not just like you got the jazz horn in here? What is this? What is this mix? This is insane. This is good. This is like the big band version. Bendy the Ink Demon channel. What the hell did I miss? You missed the first round of the bracket and the second round of the bracket, but you've made it in time for the Sweet 16, my friend. All answers so far are displayed on the screen. Feel free to ask any questions if you'd like follow-up for any reasoning, but it's all there. You're here just in time. Twilight Princess. So this part, the Sakurai region, is being dominated by Zelda. Again, so many of these games could have made it so much further if they didn't have to go up against this ridiculous competition. Play Smash. Do I know you? Bendy the Ink Demon channel. I could play Smash. I've already got the emulator. Are you kidding me? I have it right here. Look at that. I have Smash ready to go at all times. Never doubt me. I have 20XX. All right, I got the training pack right there. It's there. It's ready to go. Foxy the Pirate, do it. Maybe. I could do it. I'm not great though. You'll be very disappointed. I'm no Plup, man. My Sheik is not crisp. It's not a Mewtwo King Sheik. It's not even a Swedish Delight level Sheik. It's a low level Sheik. It's a low level regional Sheik that places nowhere and goes 0-2 in bracket. Is Octopath Switch exclusive on my radar? It is on my radar. I don't know if it's gonna make it off my radar into my Switch though. Bayonetta, and it was made by Platinum Games too, if I remember correctly. I liked Bayonetta. I played the original Bayonetta, and I liked it a lot, actually. Have you played Okami? I have not played Okami, even though it's been released 12,000 times. I still, apparently, have never played it for some reason. If it comes out on the Switch, I'll check it out on the Switch. Link Between Worlds and Link to the Past. I'd personally go with Link to the Past. Unpopular opinion, Ocarina of Time has not aged all that well. Graphically, yes, but the HD remakes helps make up for that. Oh god, stop texting me. Oh, it's work. What do you want, work? Hold on. Everybody, we gotta stop and talk about to work for a second. Next week, I don't have any full shifts that need to be covered by you. Blah 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 blah. That's fine. That's unimportant. It's not a pressing matter. Work doesn't need to bother me with non-pressing matters, but they will, cause they don't mind. Link Between Worlds versus Link to the Past. You know, I've been back and forth on this one, actually. I've had discussions with my friends about this. Link Between Worlds is the sequel and improvement on Link to the Past, but Link to the Past holds so much nostalgia value for me. I'm gonna give it to Link to the Past, and not just because of nostalgia, but here's why. Because in Link to the Past, you have this amazing sense of exploration. Like, so many things in this game. Like, the secrets unlockables, like finding the level 3 sword, finding the level 4 sword, figuring out how to get all the bottles, figuring out, like, take this person from the light world to the dark world, take this person from the dark world to the light world, get this item, get this secret collectible, unlock this secret area. Oh, you know, what's this giant crack in the pyramid? How do I get in there? Like, everything it does, that feeling can't be recaptured in Link Between Worlds. Like, Link Between Worlds does a lot of gameplay improvements, but I've never felt such a genuine sense of exploration and adventure in a video game as I have with Link to the Past. To this day. Like, nothing else has come close. It feels like you're in the game. It's like the most immersive game to me. Alright, Donkey Kong Country versus Link's Awakening. Donkey Kong Country. Link's Awakening is good. It's nowhere. It's not on the same level as Donkey Kong Country. Bum, 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 bum. Super Mario Brothers 3 versus Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, man. Sorry, but new beats old in this case. Breath of the Wild, so good. Pushes the boundaries. In case you all can't tell, I really like Zelda. I like Zelda a lot. But I did warn everybody on the initial who came in that this was going to be a heavily leaning towards Zelda. I tried Ocarina of Time on DS and hated it. Maybe the fact that DS is terrible to look at. Maybe. I played it on the DS, but I never played with the 3D on. I hate the 3D. The 3D gave me a headache. I didn't have my glasses the last time I tried to play a 3DS, so playing on the 3D with my vision where one eye is off of the other eye, it gives me headaches. I can't play a 3DS. And I haven't tried since I got the glasses because I just hate 3D. I don't need 3D games. I wish they would stop pushing 3D because honestly, just dumb. Super Mario 64 versus Pikmin. Super Mario 64. Wow, this top 16 actually has been like the easiest round. That should not happen. That should not be how a bracket is seated. Thing is, I'm not really a Zelda player, but if you have a computer, many Zelda games to other games. For some reason, Zelda games almost always come out on top. Dude, yeah. Zelda, it's hard to compare. It's been the inspiration for so many games too. Like a lot of games, you know, they wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for Zelda. Odyssey versus Earthbound. Odyssey. Isn't Octodad owned by Sony? I don't know, is it? I thought it was, it's on the PC. I thought it was just owned by some indie company or something. Super Mario World versus Super Mario Galaxy. Super Mario World, man. Galaxy is a really good game. But I think all other 3D Mario games kind of went down for me when Odyssey came out. Like, Odyssey is so much better than all of the 3D Mario games. Kind of like, it lowered my opinion of all the other ones. I was like, oh, this is what they can do? This is what those games can be? That changes everything. That's way different than what you had led me to believe. Ocarina of Time versus Super Smash Brothers Melee. It's Melee, dude. It's Melee. Like, it has to be Melee for me. Again, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's right there. I got it. You don't see Ocarina of Time right there, do you? No. Only Zelda, or only Melee. Melee wins. Alright, dude. Top 8. The Elite 8. The exciting Elite 8. Lost Woods music is so good. I used to be able to play this on guitar. Bum, 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 bum. I wish I could remember how to play anything on guitar still. I need to pick up my guitar again. I need to restring it because one of the strings broke. All the strings are about to break, actually. All those strings are I need to restring it and relearn to play it. Okay, now I guess we're going to start having different opinions. Yeah, dude, we made it up to this point. Dude, what's up, Hanson Plays? Welcome. Welcome. You're just in time for the Elite 8. Stuff's starting to get real. Stuff's starting to get real up in here. Wish I hadn't said it like that, but I did, and I don't care. First one, I'd go with Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess versus Link to the Past. See, I put Twilight Princess as the second best 3D Zelda, behind Breath of the Wild. I put Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, and then the others I don't really care about as much. Here's some sad news. Spelunky will never be ported to Switch because its code is incompatible with the Switch's software. But here's some good news. Spelunky 2 is coming out, and that will definitely be on the Switch. We got 2 Twilight Princesses. I've heard Earthbound is a classic. Earthbound is a classic, but not one that I've particularly gotten to play and enjoy, which is a crime. It's a real shame, but it's the truth. We're at a point where every game that you see in my top 8 is a game that I've played extensively, recommended extensively, talked about extensively. So, Twilight Princess versus Link to the Past. For me personally, which do I think is the better game? Not just based on my own nostalgia, but which game do I think is better? You all are saying Twilight Princess, but I gotta go with Link to the Past. I think Link to the Past, again, what I talked about with it feeling like a true sense of adventure. That first time you go from the light world to the dark world, I mean, you gotta think, like, we thought that game was over. We beat that boss. We thought we rescued Zelda. We're like, we just beat the game, man. That was awesome. I got like 5 really great hours out of that game. We were just getting started, man. We weren't even halfway through the game at that point. It was nuts. Words cannot describe to you the feelings that I had as a child when that happened to me. Melee is always one of the best. Melee. Dude, Melee. And Link to the Past, again, it did so much. Like, people talk about how Ocarina of Time helped lay the framework for all future Zelda games. Link to the Past laid a ton of groundwork for Ocarina of Time. A lot of stuff that Ocarina of Time gets credit for was actually done by Link to the Past. Sword upgrades, the different worlds, the dungeon layout. I mean, like, it was Zelda 1. You had the original Zelda. Then you had The Adventures of Link, which everyone was like, oh no, that game series I really liked got weird. Got weird and not as good. And then Link to the Past came back in and they were like, just kidding. We're going to do everything that we did in the first one, but it's going to be about 5 billion times better. DKC against Breath of the Wild, I'd have to go for Zelda once again. I think Donkey Kong Country is probably my favorite platformer of all time. And God, the hidden collectibles in Donkey Kong Country. Like, finding them is so fun most of the time, except for when you are looking for, like, the last one in the game and you're just jumping down every single pit. That sucks. Hate that part. But the other part is... Breath of the Wild. You guys are right, man. Breath of the Wild is... I think Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey are not just 2 amazing games that Nintendo happened to release in the same year. I think it's some of the best games Nintendo has come out with in a decade. And it's insane to me that the best Zelda since Twilight Princess and the best Mario since Super Mario World both came out in the same year. Like, 2 of the undoubtedly best entries in my 2 favorite franchises came out in the same year. That's why 2017 was such a good year for games. As terrible as everything else of the year was, for gaming, 2017 was amazing. Plus, like, the indie games with Night in the Woods. I need to do one of these for indie games. That would be cool. I think the final will be Breath of the Wild versus Odyssey. It might be, actually, based on how this bracket's going. Alright, we have Odyssey versus Super Mario 64. Odyssey, I mean... I wish I could, like, drag that one out for the suspense, but no, it's Odyssey, dude. It's Odyssey wins that 10 times out of 9. Wins it more times than even the matchup goes up against. It's a 110% winner. It would be like 111 point something % winner. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean, man. I think A Link to the Past is over Breath of the Wild. We'll see. We'll see where we get. We have Melee versus Super Mario World. Melee. Okay, I can't even kid, man. Melee. Melee. Melee's fun to play by yourself. Melee's fun to play with friends. Melee. Melee. Super Smash Brothers. Melee. That's how he says it in the announcer voice. This is a bunch of equal signs. Whoop. Melee. Talking of indie, I'm looking forward to Hollow Knight on the Switch. Me too. That's when I'm going to actually play Hollow Knight, because I haven't played it yet. But I will get it when it comes out on the Switch. Hold me to it, guys. One of the benefits of your channel being small is that it creates a sense of community. Dude, that's what I love. Like, I couldn't do this with, like, 100 viewers, even. Like, 100 viewers, this would not be anything, man. Sakurai is legend. Dude, the Sakurai region is overpowered. The Tahiri region? First of all, I don't even know who that is. I know who Awada, Sakurai, and Miyamoto are. I actually don't know who Tajiri is? Tahiri? Is it Tahiri? Does anybody know who that is? Can you educate me? Because I'm confused. I'm a little lost on that one. We're gonna have a good deep talk from now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and these are all... These are all gonna be tough comparisons. This is where it gets real, man. This is where it gets real. Ignore the music. The music would lead you to believe this isn't serious. This is very serious. Considering we've been playing Melee for 17 years, I think it would be better than Odyssey. You know, but that's... I don't know, man. People might be playing Super Mario Odyssey in 17 years. It's that good. People might still be speedrunning that game 17 years from now. It's not unfeasible that that would happen. People still speedrunning Super Mario 64. I think Link to the Past has a better fairy tale feeling compared to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, though, exploration. So let's look at the positives for each. Link to the Past, yes. It has that sense of adventure. It makes you feel like you're part of a grand story. Like a classic, like, grim fairy tale. Like, to me, Link to the Past has always been that game that perfectly captures the feeling of fairy tales. Of, like, you know, being there, sword in hand, saving the princess, fighting the giant evil monster. It's like... You know, everyone knows it's based on Miyamoto out in the woods as a child exploring the woods, but it so perfectly captures that feeling and shares it with people. This list seems to rather inconsistent. I mean, how are Castlevania, Banjo, Kazooie on here, and Chrono Trigger and the Final Fantasy games aren't? Yeah, dude, I don't know. Chrono Trigger should have been on here. Actually, I'm kind of disappointed Chrono Trigger wasn't on here. Chrono Trigger's too good, man. Also, I just want to say, this is a shirt with a hood. This is the best piece of clothing I have ever owned. It is so comfortable. Get you a shirt with a hood on it. It's so soft. It's so comfortable. I've played all 4 of these, but not so much Odyssey. I've played all of these. Alright, so I've played Link to the Past, beaten it more times than I can count. I can't really speedrun it, but I can beat it in one sitting easily. Melee, I've played hours upon hours upon hours of Melee. Breath of the Wild, it's only been out for a year and I've already played it 60 plus hours. My friend Hippie, who you all know, he's played it for over 100 hours already. Odyssey, I got every moon. I get every moon in Odyssey. So, okay, so let's focus on Link to the Past versus Breath of the Wild. Link to the Past has a better sense of adventure. Breath of the Wild is a game that you can really just get into and explore. Like, there's every corner of the map of Breath of the Wild just has something. But negatives for it. Link to the Past obviously has a hard time comparing to the scope of Breath of the Wild. It's older, you know. Breath of the Wild, I have to hold its lack of actual dungeons against it. I don't like the Divine Beast. I thought all the Divine Beasts were kind of boring. They were some of the low points of the game. I wanted real dungeons, alright? I wanted the shrines. The shrines were good, but I wanted real, legit dungeons. The legacy is unfathomable. While I think Breath of the Wild is objectively one of the best games Nintendo has ever made, I'm gonna go with Link to the Past. I think Link to the Past is just better. It's for me, like, Link to the Past is so good. Breath of the Wild for me didn't feel like Zelda a lot of the time. Agreed. It felt like a really fun game that I enjoyed playing, but it didn't feel a lot like a Zelda game. So now, we have 2 games that aren't related at all. Melee, a 17-year-old party fighter game that people have bastardized into one of my favorite competitive games of all time, versus Super Mario Odyssey, one of the tightest, best feeling platformers ever. Honestly, the best 3D platformer ever. The controls, just nothing compares to Odyssey. But which is better than the 2? I've only seen a few YouTube videos of Breath of the Wild, but it all seems the same, running through the grass greens and mountains. I don't think Breath of the Wild is fun to watch people play. I think Breath of the Wild is a lot of fun to play. I don't think it's a game that translates well into watching. It's kind of like how certain games like Five Nights at Freddy's are more fun to watch than to play. Breath of the Wild is the exact opposite, where it's much more fun to play it than it is to watch. What's fun about Breath of the Wild is the sense that you can do anything, and when someone else is playing it, You don't get that. Melee never drops frames, lol. Odyssey, though, probably the best platformer created in a lot of time, maybe ever. I think it's the best 3D platformer ever. I'm willing to say it's the best 3D platformer of all time. But man, Melee... What? There's not even Street Fighter games that have managed to stick around as long as Melee. People don't play Street Fighter 2 Turbo the same way that they still play Melee. People don't still play Marvel vs. Capcom 1 the way that people still play Melee. I'm gonna go with Melee. Because, like, when you factor in the competitive scene on Melee and the hours of entertainment you can get from playing it, from competing in it, you can play with your friends, you can go to local tournaments, you can go to national tournaments. There's a national near you, I guarantee it. There's nationals pretty much everywhere. I've been to multiple nationals that range from 2 to 5 hours away from my house, and it's always fun. It's like going to a convention for Melee. Oh my god, Andrew Price is here. I'm here so you can start now. Dude, I've been waiting for you to get here so I could trigger you so hard. I was hoping you would have been here a long time ago because I wanted you to just get angrier and angrier as this list went on. Melee has one of the most loyal fan bases. See, I wasn't even part of the Melee fan base until like a year and a half or 2 ago. It was about a year and a half ago, I think. It was actually Andrew Price who just joined chat. My good real-life friend who got me into it. He got me hooked on the competitive scene, watching it, and then playing it more competitively. It just gives me so much more entertainment, even from outside of the game itself. A quick look is not triggering you that much. Darn. What about, I want to make sure, here's the one I thought would really get you. Oh, where'd it go? Where was Wind Waker? Oh, I put Castlevania 1 over Wind Waker. Put the OG NES Castlevania over Wind Waker. And I figured that was the main thing. So now Link to the Past versus Melee. How do I even compare? If it's time played, it would go to Link to the to Melee. I've played Melee more than I've played Link to the Past, but that's a hard comparison because Melee is a game based around just jumping in and out and playing frequently versus Link to the Past is an adventure. Oh my god, look, Link to the Past music comes on. Death Mount. Oh, this is a Link Between Worlds, but it's a remix of a Link to the Past song. Oh my gosh, I knew it was gonna come down to this. I kind of did. It's such a tough choice, man, because they're so vastly different. One is a technical masterpiece, where the competitive limits seem to have there don't seem to be any competitive limits. There's always people who are going to push Melee further, and as long as there are people pushing it, it's going to be more and more entertaining. Link to the Past has the randomizer, which is exciting. You know, it definitely mixes things up. Link to the Past is something you don't only play because you want to play, but you remember it all the time after you play it because it becomes an experience, and that's part of your life. He's got a good point, man. He has a good point there. Link to the Past is very special to me on like a personal level. And again, I've played it with friends almost as much as I feel like I've played Melee at times. Well, not as much, but in a different way, you know. Again, it's hard to compare them based on just time played alone. The best Nintendo game of all time. I mean, you have their best... Basically, I like that it's come down essentially to their best single-player game versus their best multiplayer game, and which do I value more? Do I value the single-player masterpiece Link to the Past, or the endless friend potential of Melee? Not everyone agree that a fighting game would be the best. Dude, DKC versus Link's Awakening is such a killer third round matchup, wow. Dude, some of these matchups were straight up broken in the beginning. Some of these matchups were not fair at all. And there was missing so many good Zelda games from this list too. Like, Oracle's is not on here. Damn. Yeah, we're gonna remake our own bracket, do this again sometime. Later, after we let this one settle. Alright. Well, A winner must be called. As much as I would like to just say that I would just like to leave it as a tie between my two favorite Nintendo games of all time, I must crown a winner. Somebody must get the Princess Peach crown. God, this is so tough. Honestly, I can't decide. Alright. What even is this track? This is DuckTales Remastered Moon theme. Okay, would never have guessed that. Zelda, DuckTales Moon, Rayman, Zelda, Melee. Why did you have to bring it back to Peach? I changed my mind, screw Melee. Melee is dead. Alright. I'm gonna go with Link to the Past. Link to the Past is my favorite game of all time, and here's why. Here is my final verdict on this, on why I would give it to Link to the Past. If you were gonna take somebody who had never played a video game in their life, and you were gonna recommend to them just one game to give a chance to see if they enjoy video games or not, I would have to give it. I would tell them to play Link to the Past. I would not even consider telling them to play Melee. And again, you're talking like both of these games are 10 out of 10s. These are perfect games. They're literally perfect games in my opinion. Where did you get the fill-outable version of this? It's not a fill-outable version of this. This is Photoshop. I'm just in Photoshop right now. Alright. We're gonna save this. Oh no, what did I do? Oh my god, what the? Broke the stream! I broke the stream! Oh my... Whoops! Really broke that there for a second. It's all good, guys. It's okay. Apparently I hit some shortcut key I didn't know I had active. There we go. Nice and repositioned and centered again. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Melee is hard to get into competitively. It has a huge barrier to entry these days, which does suck. It can be, and depending on your local scene, it can either be a lot easier or a lot more difficult than the average. Some scenes are very welcoming and want to help new players grow the scene. Other scenes are filled with shitheads who think that them being good at Melee because they played for 5 years makes them more popular or cooler or whatever than you, and those scenes suck. It belongs to both, really lost the time to both. Melee is like Skyrim in the sense that it belongs to the fans more than the creators. I agree. The fans have taken Melee and given it a whole new life of its own. Like Melee was never supposed to be what it was. Like Melee totally is a fan-made thing, which is awesome. And, you know, that's just so cool. And again, the same thing with Link to the Past. Because Link to the Past, again, now you've got randomizers, speed runs, all the glitches that people have pulled off. I mean, they've really turned it into something special. This was a lot of fun. I can't believe I got an hour and 45 minutes out of this. It was, oh yeah, I was trying to save this before I broke the stream. That was the button I was trying to hit. Let's see. Save this image as live bracket 2018. I will admit Link to the Past randomizer makes it close. Dude, it definitely helps close that gap. There's a lot of your arguments about like being able to watch it as a fan, watch other people play it. The replayability factor, the competitive factor, all of those things get introduced by the randomizer. And it's hard to say that, you know, oh, that shouldn't count because the randomizer is not how the game's intended to be played. Well, Melee is not played as Melee is intended to be played either, especially when you consider like the 20XX and, you know, the training packs and the tournaments. I mean, all of Melee is not how it was intended to be played. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's my bracket, man. Is there anything I would change here? The only thing I would change here is probably there's some games I wouldn't have put on here to begin with, and some games that I would have put in their place, and there's some definitely changes I would have made in the seating order. I'm surprised at how many of these I had played. A couple of them, the round oneers, lost because I just haven't played them. Like, there's no Chrono Trigger on here. How is there no Chrono Trigger on here? I left out some really good Zeldas. Wario Land 4. Wario Land 3 is the best Wario Land, guys. Not Wario Land 4. Wario Land 3. Wario Land 3 would have stood a chance up against Star Fox 64. That Melee documentary is emotional. Dude, I'm excited for the new Melee documentary. The Melee documentary 2.0. Chrono Trigger was not developed by Nintendo. Yeah, but there's a lot of games on here that were not developed by Nintendo. Banjo Kazooie was not developed by Nintendo. What else? Maybe just Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't think that was developed by Nintendo. I know it's a Nintendo exclusive, but I don't think it's a Nintendo IP. I assume Nintendo made games are the only entrants. I mean, for the most part, but whoever made this looks like they might have slipped up in a couple of spots. Tetris isn't made by Nintendo. So it looks like that's what they were going for, but they made a couple of mistakes. So in that case, it's fine. That explains the lack of Chrono Trigger, the lack of Final Fantasy. So yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like, though. It looks like it was intended to be that, and then maybe somebody slipped up a little bit. Now, this top 100 Nintendo song playlist, though, that's getting a thumbs up. Getting a thumbs up for sure. Would listen to again. Would stream within the background again. Boy, I got a Snapchat from Hippie. Maybe he wants to play Fortnite. 'Cause I know I always want to play Fortnite. Use Wigwam now to delete a message, so that should be an indication what not to write. Next time I'll try out my almighty moderator powers and send someone to timeout for a little bit. I mean, I don't want to be too strict to time someone out. I get you, Razor G, you're just making a joke, but I don't mind so much what you said, Razor G, as much as I worry about the discussion that would follow. You know, sometimes in chat it's about nipping it in the bud, not so much about what you said, but just about making sure it doesn't go in the wrong direction. Banjo Kazooie wasn't Nintendo developed? Yeah, no, it was not, because Nintendo games versus games on Nintendo consoles are completely different. Dude, yeah, if it was just best games to be released on Nintendo consoles, it would be much different. Let's see. Dude, this song, also, like, can someone compile a best music track bracket for me of Nintendo tracks? Of any game that's been a Nintendo exclusive, or at least was originally a Nintendo exclusive, because Chrono Trigger's obviously been re-released a million times, but I would qualify that. Sorry, man, I've had a beer too many. I apologize, dude. Again, it's okay. That's why I didn't time you out. I just didn't want that one particular chat to be in there. But again, you know, I try to be as lenient as possible on the internet, but you gotta have a line on the internet, man. People will surprise you with. They'll go from 5 to 100,000 in a split second. You gonna play Celeste now? I'm either gonna play Celeste or I'm gonna play Fortnite. DK music for the win. No point, Sticker Brush Symphony would win easy. Dude, we were listening to Sticker Brush Symphony earlier. Nabo told me to play. You missed it. I love everything about Chrono Trigger. It was developed by a freaking dream team, for instance. Dude, Chrono Trigger might have beat either of these games, honestly. Chrono Trigger had a chance that it could have taken this whole bracket. And the soundtrack, such a good soundtrack. Dude, everything in that game is perfect. Visuals, soundtrack. I mean, it's all good. Like, the game is just a top to bottom 10 out of 10. Games that I consider to be 10 out of 10s, these two, Link to the Past, Melee, Odyssey, yeah. Breath of the Wild, close, but I don't know. It's not a 10 out of 10. Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger is a 10 out of 10 for me. Donkey Kong Country is a 10 out of 10 for me. Honestly, I know it got beat by Breath of the Wild, and I know I'm saying Breath of the Wild isn't a 10 out of 10, because every game is based on a different criteria to me. It's hard to say, like, one game could be better than another game, even though the one game can be perfect. I'm trying to think of what else. Celeste, I think, is maybe a 10 out of 10. It takes time to determine whether a game is a 10 out of 10. I don't think you can really say a game is perfect until it's sat with you for a while. It's sat with you and you've gone back to play it again. You really need, it's gotta age well over time, because that's a factor. Like, I don't think you could ever call a 10 out of 10 immediately. Yasunori Mitsudo is begging Square to let him work on a game, but they would not have him work on Final Fantasy because, well, we know who worked on those. Yep. Chrono Trigger, the dark horse that didn't even make it to the 16. Chrono Trigger wasn't on here, dude. If Chrono Trigger was on here, like, it would have won, dude. Let's look at the top 8. Is there anywhere in the top 8 that Chrono Trigger might have even lost to? Chrono Trigger would have beat Twilight Princess. Chrono Trigger might have beat Link to the Past, which obviously was our winner. Donkey Kong Country, yes. Breath of the Wild, yes. Super Mario 64, oh, for sure, yes. Odyssey, yeah. Super Mario World, 100%. Melee, yeah. I think we could just be like, alright. It's like, here we go. We're just like, Chrono Trigger. It's like, here we go. That's my list. That's my new list. Here we go. That's the true winner of the bracket. All Chrono Trigger all day, man. What was that? I'm gonna back up a second. That was a good song. That was Donkey Kong Country Returns Gear Getaway. Dude, Donkey Kong Country Returns is good. Actually, I'm surprised this list had no love for Donkey Kong Country Returns. Donkey Kong Country Returns is good. Oh, so actually, here's something we can do. One last thing we can do. Where I'm going to end this stream and take a break, and then I'm going to come back with Fortnite. So if you want to watch Fortnite, you can stick around. If you don't want to watch Fortnite, I appreciate you joining me for this Nintendo stream. It was a lot of fun to just stream a not game. I had a lot of fun streaming this. It seems like you guys did too. That's the best numbers I've ever had on like a random weekday stream, so that was fun. Why don't you play Fancy Pants 2? What the heck is Fancy Pants 2? Is that a song? Is that a game? Oh god. We're gonna compare. There's a Reddit thread for the same bracket. So we should be able to pull up the Reddit thread and see what exactly they decided to vote on and how different we were. Go. Here's the original tweet. And again, if you guys like this and you already follow me, consider following Digimane. His thing's down below, and it's on the tweet on my Twitter from when I started the stream. He made this bracket. He gave us all of this entertainment, so kudos to him. Really appreciate it. He doesn't probably know that I did this, but I did tag him, so he'll find it out eventually. Does anything in the modern era of all platforms beat Chrono Trigger? No, man, I objectively think Chrono Trigger is the best game of all time, honestly. I think if, like, we're asked, like, my personal favorite, like, if my nostalgia or my own personal taste were to get into the way, there's other games that might win. Is Secret of Mana worth trying? Yes. The old Secret of Mana. Don't waste your money on that remake. Play the original. Alright, I know somewhere in here they had a voting thread. Saw it earlier. There we go. I found a cool site that makes brackets and got this thing rolling. They're on round 8 right now, currently. So let's see how theirs is different than mine. So immediately, yeah, I told you Twilight Princess was going to be an upset. To give me the specifics, it was 123 to 55 votes. So immediately theirs is different. They put Wii Sports over Super Mario RPG. So immediately their bracket is terrible. The Reddit bracket is wrong, quite frankly. People on Reddit have the incorrect opinions on what was supposed to happen. I have a Vita, that's all, dude. I don't know what to tell you to play on a PS Vita. That is outside my wheelhouse, friend. I'm sorry. Wind Waker, they put over Castlevania. They've literally picked everything different than I did. Mario Kart 64, okay, they picked Mario Kart 64. That's one thing we had in common. I think, right? Okay, I did pick that. They picked Link Between Worlds, good. And then versus Metroid Prime, but then they put Metroid Prime over that. They went with Star Fox 64 over Wario Land, that's good. Link to the Past over Super Smash Brothers, wow. No. Twilight Princess is such a good game. It is, dude. Again, I think it's it's my most underrated Zelda game. Super Smash Bros. 1 over Star Fox 64. Again, I hard disagree. I think Star Fox 64 is a much better game. Then they went Metroid Prime over Super Smash Bros. We can vote on their stuff, can't we? Hopefully we don't have to. So between Super Mario Brothers and Super Smash Bros. 1, what do we think? I think this. Okay. Oh, okay. It's gonna take us through all the round 8s. Breath of the Wild versus Sunshine. Breath of the Wild. Ocarina of Time versus Super Mario World. We didn't even get to this, did we? We got to Ocarina of Time versus Melee. Wait, they didn't pick Melee? The internet did not choose Melee? What? Go with Mario World. Odyssey versus 64. Odyssey. Alright, what else did they mess up? Breath of the Wild versus Mario Land. Breath of the Wild versus Skyward Sword, so that part was the same. Breath of the Wild over Super Mario Bros. 3, that part was the same. That whole lower part of the bracket was the same. SMB3, Banjo Kazooie, that part's the same. We had some similarities in this part. Link's Awakening over Paper Mario, disagree. Super Mario Galaxy 2 over Super Mario Sunshine, would also disagree. If I'd gotten to that point, I would have gone with Super Mario Galaxy 2. I really like that you don't use numeric score. Personally, I find them rather dumb and useless and non-critical. Yeah, I think it's a cop-out for bad reviewers. Bad reviewers use numbers because numbers are easy. I'm like, you always get yourself in this position where like, oh, I gave this game an 8 and this game an 8 because this game was a huge improvement on a shit franchise and this game wasn't as good as the prior sequel. Like, the number system is never held true. The number system is skewed. Especially when you have something like IGN where there's all these different people scoring with their own opinions. Wins the Fortnite? That's a good question. Old hippie. Alright. Alright, it's 8 o'clock right now. I'm going to end this stream. I'm going to close this one down. It's going to end. It's going to say I'm not streaming anymore. I'm going to change the thumbnail and the title. I'm going to make myself a drink. I'm going to take a 15-minute break. At 8:15, I will be back with Fortnite. I gave up on Fortnite, man. Happier wrecking 8-year-olds on Splatoon 2. Me too, honestly, but no one wants to play Splatoon with me, and I enjoy playing games with friends. What else is over here? Mother 3. Majora's Mask. Thank God they didn't put Majora's Mask over Super Mario 64, because that would have just been incorrect. Alright, so 8:15. If you want to stick around for the Fortnite stream, 8:15. But I'm going to end this one. Thank you for everyone that joined me, at least for the first part. You guys are all awesome, and I love you, and you're beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you different, because they're wrong. You are. Okay, bye-bye. See you in a few.